Scene one, take one. Hi guys, welcome back
Hi.
to episode 2 of Lights, Clips, Action. And today we're joined with the one, the only, Alessi HQ.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Caitlin.
We've got a live
We've got a
audience.
live audience. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
I'm so excited.
So we're basically just going to run through, because we obviously both run the HQs for both of our
Aye.
faves. So we're just going to chat about our experience with it, why we kind of started it and stuff.
Absolutely.
Why would you say that you started Alessi HQ?
I always said that I started HQ because I I had so much faith in Alessi and what she did and her talent that the whole reason that I started Alessi HQ was I need people to know about this girl and I will do
Yeah.
everything in my power
Mm-hmm.
to make people know her name, which I feel like is probably the same as you.
100%.
Because I was just genuinely I think I started HQ when just after Hate This Part dropped, or around that time. And I was I not to say I was ahead of the game, but I knew that she was something big and I wanted people to know about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, there's a huge difference between team, the artist team running a HQ and a
Mhm.
fan led one, because there's no one better at interacting with fans, in my opinion, anyway. With
Oh,
like
yeah.
than a fan. Do you know what I mean? But again, I think with me starting Rachel's one, it was definitely the potential that I saw in Rachel. I was like,
Mhm.
everyone has to know this girl's name, and I think it's a lot better as well when a HQ started from when the artist is so small and you get
Yeah.
to document them
The
growing.
whole journey
I mean, Coco for Alessi now,
is crazy.
that's
And
insane.
yeah, the whole of the last 6 months of her career, not even that, have just been fucking insane. Can I swear? Oopsies.
You absolutely can. They're
They're
on teaching
fucking
you.
insane.
Drop those F bombs. Would you say that you kind of started the HQ as well in the hopes of developing Alessi's fan base, or at least helping with that?
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. Because it's like I said, I wanted people to know about her, and also I think HQs are really important in that middle ground between the artist and the fan,
Yeah.
engagement wise, especially when the artist grows so much so quickly. Because obviously Rachel massively popped off
Yeah.
as well. That was hit tweet after hit tweet for Rachel,
Honestly,
and
Never Need Me video, she was coming back.
she was coming back,
Honestly.
and we loved to see it. I also love the fan base. The Alessi fans are there's just so many of them now that it's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just so cute. I love them all.
Alessi's fandom has grown. Me, from a little outsider perspective, I'm like, damn, they're multiplying. Do
No,
you know what I mean?
literally, they're multiplying.
um, but that's the same with Rachel, I guess. Obviously, Rachel's so big on how she
Mm.
interacts with her fans. She wants one of those fandoms that's everyone's nice to each other, and she's so big on it as well. So I
Oh
think
my god,
the
yeah.
HQ played a big part in that, obviously, because we did letter
That's
exchanges.
so cute. And Rachel was the reason that I started journaling as well.
Really?
Because that when she put on it's the So My Darlings, the Instagram,
Yeah.
when she was we're gonna do journaling, that was when I bought my journals.
Oh.
And I started doing that because of Rachel, and I was like, it's just a cute thing
Yeah.
for fandoms to do. Because I love how Rachel's very that's what I think is kind of different between Alessi and Rachel is Alessi's so violently chronically online, and that's a big part of her lore.
Yeah.
Whereas Rachel's very much put the phones down.
No, for real. Honestly, when Rachel, when I first started going to Rachel shows and stuff, terrified. I'd
Really?
come out with 30 seconds of one clip, and it's me hiding behind the barrier, oh my god, she can't see my phone. And I've got a video from her very first tour that I saw, and she kind of looks over at me when I'm filming. The phone goes straight down. I'm like, no, I don't have my phone.
I wasn't doing anything.
But also, I feel you've got to document to some extent when you see your
Mhm.
faves, because it's fun to look back on. I love watching my videos back of Rachel at Hoxton Hall.
Us watching the videos back of when Alessi was doing communion show and the social, and there was literally six of us there to see her, to now literally O2 in Bristol and Coco and doing a whole UK EU thing,
Yeah.
and to be Like I went to Alessi's first live shows that she did because I went to when she supported Ella Jane, and there was genuinely like 3, 4 of us there
When
for
was
her.
that?
That was November of 2023.
Damn.
She played the Grace in London for Ella Jane support.
The audience is getting emotional, guys.
The audience is having a wee cry behind the camera.
Would you say that there's any like, like favorite HQs or like inspos? Like, did you do your research? Because
I did an extensive amount of research. I think it was I'm gonna sound insane, but it's fine. I think it was maybe like 6 months ago or something. I went through all of like my favorite HQs for like big artists. So I did like Young Ex Wives, I did Taylor Nation, I did Gracie HQ, I did like Livy's HQ. I literally went through all of them, like did deep dives into their Instagrams, into their Twitters, things that they posted, like how they interacted with fans. And I have on my iPad, I've literally got like brain dump pages.
this is sound a bit too familiar for my liking. I have made maps. I have made maps of like me evaluating each HQ and like what I liked.
No, and literally like it's like I had a whole page on um how like Young Ex-Wives did all of the hinting for when Renee was doing Not My Fault for
Yeah.
like Mean Girls and things like that. And I think I showed them to Alessi and she was like, you're not real.
Mm.
She was like, I absolutely love this. Because I I like kind of said to myself, I think it was start of last year, start of 24, that I was like, I really want to take this seriously and I want this to be a thing.
Mhm.
So I was like, obviously I'm gonna put the time in. And dare I say I've reaped the
No,
benefits.
you really
Like
have. You've been hitting those milestones like there's no tomorrow, girl.
no, because I was saying it's like I think it was July of 2024. I had like 300 followers on Instagram and I've got 5.6k now. And that's mental. Thanks guys.
I think when you were talking about like the hinting and stuff
Mhm.
for like, I think it's so hard, like, because there's a good amount of times we don't know what's going on either, I feel like. And we're hinting as if we know what's going on. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll throw a little Easter egg in there. And I'm thinking, I don't even know what the Easter egg is.
The
Do you know what I
amount
mean?
of times that I will tweet a silly little emoji having no idea what's going on and everyone's like, "What do you know? What do you know?" I'm like, "I know nothing.
Yeah.
I just like to be involved in the chaos and pretend I know what's going on."
Yeah. Like the Brits, I had like a incline that Rachel was
Oh,
gonna get nominated,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
I was like, come on, like she has to, like, wake up. And like I was like, oh, like something fun could be happening tonight. Like, are we all watching the Brits?
Are we
And
all watching the Brits?
we were all watching the Brits.
That
But
was absolutely mental though. Like Brit noms.
I screamed so
I saw.
I I,
I
I
saw.
sobbed a little. Um, yeah, tears. I was shaking with like adrenaline, but I was like, why am I acting like this? Like, stop it. I'm trying to act cool.
We can't ever be normal.
No,
Nonchalant, not a
no,
thing.
it's not a thing here.
Not
I
a
can
thing.
Zach. Do not do that. In terms of like engagement from Alessi and stuff,
Hmm.
do you think that that's helped
Oh
a
my
lot?
god, yeah. Alessi like backed me from day one, which I think is also why I'm in the position that I'm in because she fully was like so supportive of everything that I did. She was like, if you ever need anything, just let me know. And like obviously, like when she was a lot, smaller, she would obviously tell me things a lot more because there wasn't so much riding on these things anymore. Well, there was, but like she was still very much like had her own little world to live in.
Hmm.
But it's like she'd tweet back in the day, like on the odd occasion, she'd be like, "At Alessi HQ, just dropped you a secret in the DMs," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm on my way,
Off I
off I go."
go.
I genuinely don't think I could have asked for better in the way of like engagement with the artist as well, because
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that helps as well with like people interacting with you as a HQ. Like,
hmm
I've always found that like Rachel tweets anything or like interacts with like the HQ, you find people coming to your page and they're like, "Oh my god, like I didn't know this existed," and it's like, "Hey, welcome,
and
join us."
any time that Alessi would like repost a Instagram post on HQ, I think I did like a 2024 dump on HQ and she put it on her Instagram story and genuinely I got like it was my most liked post
Really?
on HQ for a while. I think it's been overtaken now, but It was the first post to like hit over 2,000 likes on something.
Might actually touch on the Twitter communities because I know you've got one as
I
well.
do have one, yes, because I came
Um,
to you and I was like, do I have to pay for Twitter Blue?
me giving out the advice for little Twitter communities. I made Lydia May's one
Oh,
as
did
well.
you?
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of artist HQs are starting to do the Twitter
they're
community
becoming
thing.
a thing,
Like
aren't they?
Devon's got one, Erin's got one. I just think they're so much fun. I really love
Yeah,
them.
I like that everyone can like tweet on it and is involved in some way because obviously like you've got like the Instagram like what are they called the
Channels?
channels
You gotta have
Instagram
10. You
channels.
gotta have 10,000 followers to have one of those.
Mm, you gotta be popular.
Gotta be popular, popular.
Popular. Sorry.
Popular. Any chance to get a bit of Wicked. Also, like the community was used as a way to start hinting. That was like one of the main things that Alessi wanted to set up for. Because I'd mentioned it to Millie because I knew that you had one.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to Millie at manager Millie, for those who don't know. I mentioned it to Millie at the London show when she did tour back in September. And I was like, I think Twitter community might be a shout because like there was a bit of a shambles with the WhatsApp.
Not the
Um,
WhatsApp.
just a wee shambles with the WhatsApp. And yeah, they were really on board with it. And then that was how she started doing the hinting for "I'm so chill and cool" and all that. Like that was where the
That
first.
was good
That was where
hinting.
the oh my
That was
god,
excellent.
the PDF that I got sent
The
of like everything.
PDF.
I literally no, I got sent like after it had all happened because I was asked to make a video on everything that had gone on. Millie sent me like a PDF of everything that they were hinting, like dates, times, what the little hints were, and everything. Like changing her Instagram user, like the captions on her posts and things like that. Like literally having the whole structured thing laid out for the
Mhm.
single release and the EP announcement. And I was like, this is wild.
I love that though when like teams get the HQs involved
Mm-hmm.
because it's so much easier I think when it's a team running the HQ because they've got everything. They know what they're hinting to. Whereas fan led ones I think can be a lot better with fan engagement, but in terms of like being in the mix, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously like when things are announced that we don't know and we're like scrambling to get something together, like whether that's a streaming party or that's just content to post because you got to be active.
You got to be active.
You got to be
You got to be
active.
online, and it's really great when your artist goes away to a different time zone for 3 months. So I'm never active
Stop.
with the fan led thing. Because I always reference this is when Erin LeCount wrote about how fangirls are literally the backbone of the industry.
Amen.
And I think fangirls, not to like toot our own horns, but
Toot
like
it.
fangirls are like really criminally underrated in toot it.
Toot it.
I feel like fangirls are really criminally underrated in the growth of artists because that was something that like Alessi's team really liked about the way that I ran HQ is that it wasn't super professional and super regimented and felt really like structured. It was just me
Yeah, I
doing
think
my thing.
again, I feel like I'm like being like a team hater, but like when it's like professionals running HQs, it's always very structured. It's very like this song is out now, stream it now. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when a fan led HQ is doing it, it might be like memes and it's like it's more relatable for the fans.
I so have the brat meme generator to thank for like half of my career. I was I was always anytime it was like when tour started, I did a whole thing of brat generators on an Instagram post of being like tour starts today, everybody loved it because they're all reposting them on stories and things like that, and that's what gets the engagement.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of like expectations and where you want to take the HQ,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say on that?
I obviously like I love what I'm doing with HQ at the minute, and it's getting bigger and bigger as the days go on, which is so crazy to fathom. But I would just love to keep doing what I'm doing with it. Hopefully we could go official one day, but
That's
that's
the
out of
dream.
my hands. No, I'd love to do like obviously I'd always love to do more because I'm always like, if there's anything you guys want me to do, if there's anything you need from me, please
Let me
just let me
know.
know.
Oh,
I can DAC official in 2025.
that could
It's
be fabulous.
I've literally got an Alessi HQ vision board on my iPad.
That's so real.
My iPad home screen is like it's so funny. I sent it to Alessi as well because I showed her. I was like, "Do you want to see And it's where I'd like gone through and changed all of like the bios on my posts to be like official home of all things Alessi Rose,
Oh,
and like
stop.
screenshotted it and put it on there. And I was just like, this is what I want out of this year. I'll be honest, that's what I want.
Yeah, so valid. You said you'd like want to go like official and stuff.
Hmm.
Would also like to take Rachel's like official and do a lot more stuff. But like, if you were to go official, say
Hmm.
hypothetically, but
Hypothetically,
also manifesting,
manifesting.
what would be like your dream? Like, you know, if you had like an Alessi HQ themed event,
Hmm.
what are you putting on?
I I feel like very like authentic with Alessi's brand is she always loves like a studio hang. She loves doing like the sessions with fans where she like plays some songs. So I'd like love to like host one of those type situations, but maybe on like a bigger
Yeah,
scale. Also, this is where like my research comes into play.
she
That
went off.
I really went off was when Renee Rapp or like Young Ex Wives they did like a Snow Angel release like little brunch party,
Oh,
and they rented out like a house on like a beach or something, like a beach house, and it was like a brunch, and there was like a whole thing, and they invited fans. I think it was like you got to do like an early listening party
oh.
of the album. I think Gak did one of those as well. Sorry.
You know, I only learned about this whole like what this ack and gack thing was. I was like, what like,
I
where's
had to
this
have it
come from?
explained to me.
I was like, I don't understand. And then people was like, it came from like, is it Gracie
Yeah,
Abrams
so
HQ?
it's like if you I think it's if you take the what's it called? The acronym for Gracie Abrams HQ, it would be GAHQ, which looks like it should be pronounced GAC.
Mm-hmm.
And then mine is AHQ, so ACK. And I don't know who started it. Whoever started calling me ACK, I think I also have you to thank for my whole career because that's literally what everybody calls me now.
Yeah, it was you guys that started calling me Dak.
Jack.
And I was like, I don't understand. I want to be in the loop. I felt old.
What would be your event?
I think if I had like an event for Rachel and it was like, you know, like Darlin's HQ led, I feel like you like when it comes to artists, you've got to like tap into their interests outside of music as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like Rachel's very creative. Like we did candle making before, which was
That's cute.
it was fabulous. There was
Ooh.
prosecco.
Aye.
It was all going down. But like I feel like pottery painting would be good for Rachel. I even suggested like a bit rogue. I guess it depends if you like this kind of stuff as well. But, like I love like true crime.
Oh,
So does Rachel.
yeah.
Imagine like a little get together doing like trying to solve like a murder mystery or
Like those
something.
murder mystery packets that you like get online and you can do
Yeah.
them in your house. But like
But
you
like
do a like a big scale
yeah,
one.
but like
That
make
would
it
be fun.
Rachel themed. Rachel, who's the murder person.
Death by clip.
Death by Cliff is a crazy statement. What's like your favourite memory from running the HQ?
Mine's like definitely fairly recently was when I got to interview Alessi post
Loved
EP
what you did
hangout.
with them.
I was I was shitting bricks in all honesty, and I had Fee stay behind with me because Phoebe was my camera lady, and I was sat on the sofa and there's videos of me literally like panicking into the mic going, I see this woman more than I see some of my family. Why am I so nervous
That's
to
so
talk to her?
real.
But it was great. It was the speediest like 10 minutes of my life. We stayed and chatted afterwards. And it was just like, yeah, it kind of felt like the first thing where I was able to take HQ to like the next step
Yeah.
for me because I feel like that's definitely opened a lot of things. And Alessi fans love the mini mics. Like the mini mics are also some of my favorite things to do. So yeah, the whole EP party, getting to interview fans, interview Alessi, and the billboard,
That billboard was insane. That was huge.
huge. And there
Huge.
was the people who lived in the house where the billboard was on were like
There was a
some one
house.
it was like there was a house in front of like next to it, and the guy came out and was like, what's going on here? Because all you see is a bunch of teenage fangirls stood screaming in like your
Yeah.
street. And
Yeah.
then we're like, oh, me about to be like, my friend's on a billboard, my close personal friend. They're like, oh, Alessi's on a billboard, and then he's like, oh, okay, we just had screaming and didn't know what was going on, and then just like went back in with his milk and his shopping.
What do you do in that situation? Like, I feel like imagine just like walking outside and you've got like a big group of
Teenage girls.
teenage girls screaming like at your house. You're thinking, is it on fire? What's going on?
What about you? What was your fave?
Oh, I feel like this is actually really difficult. I feel like either so we did like letter exchanges at Rachel's tour.
I think that's really cute.
That was like I was so nervous every
Really?
single night. I was like, what if no one brings a letter and I'm just stood myself waiting to swap and no one's got anything to swap? So I'm like running around telling my friends like, you will have a letter, like you need to have a letter done. But it actually turned out really well. We had like over 50 people do it for London,
Oh my god.
which is insane. I think another one would be when I interviewed Rachel on her tour bus.
I loved that.
Honestly, if I had like a little like something like getting my heart beat when that was all going down, it would have been through the roof because I actually didn't know that I was going to do that until approximately 20 minutes before.
Okay, yeah,
I
so
had
fair enough.
no questions. So I'm like speeds walking to the tour bus and I'm like trying to come up with questions. I'm like, guys, I need questions.
Any
Like, come on.
questions?
Like they would have been so well thought out if I had like known that this would happen. Um, and now I look back at the questions and I'm thinking, I'm like, come on, we could have done so much better. Do you know what I mean?
But I think like with having 20 minutes and then having to sit down in a tour bus surrounded by people
Yeah,
and
because
do
everyone
that.
was there.
I'm saying this as if we're not sat in Caitlin's flat's kitchen with 5 people behind the camera.
Let's
Please
set
don't
up,
knock the set up.
girls. Oh, this,
Me and Phoebe have both got our Alessi Rose OG fan tops on. Woo!
big slay.
Big sleep. But no, like doing that in 20 minutes and also like Rachel just seems so lovely to chat to.
Oh, she is. She could yap as well. Like she's a yapper, and I love yappers.
That's the thing with Alessi. Like Millie, when I did my interview, Millie was very much like, I don't want us to overrun on time because they will kick us out. But I was like, we yap. We really just yap.
Many clips and stuff like interviews. Like I'm manifesting that we could like do one like at Sabrina tour or like something
Yes.
like that. Like that would be so good.
What with Rachel?
Yes. Like
I think I'd really love to sit down with Alessi at tour. I have asked her if she wants to do a takeover on HQ for one of the tour dates, which she said she's down to do.
I tweeted Rachel. I was like, how would you feel about that?
Because it's like Alessi did a takeover on Kansas Any tour when she went to see Role Model,
Mm-hmm.
and that was honestly one of the funniest things that's ever happened because my friend like basically runs Kansas Any tour, which was like Role Model's tour.
Uh huh.
I don't think it was official, but it was like the tour updates account, and got Alessi on because obviously everybody knows how much Alessi loves Role Model, and
Yeah,
so
that's so cool. I was gonna try and get Rachel to do like a takeover for Darren's HQ for the day at Sabrina tour. I feel like that would go down well.
good.
Also asked like on my like stories and stuff. I was like, oh, like, is there anything you'd like to see? And someone suggested that her guitarist AC does a takeover, and now that would just be chaotic.
I think I met AC at Neve's EP because
You did. You
she's
absolutely
yes, I
did.
did meet AC.
We had seen AC that morning at Live Lounge for Rachel.
Oh well, yeah, they were on the same day.
Yeah, and then we went to Neve, and somehow AC found us, and we were like, "Oh, do you want in?" She was right in front of Fran. She was loving life.
She was having a great time.
Yeah, she's a character, AC.
Mm-hmm.
She really is.
That's also a thing. Sorry, I'm just gonna sidetrack from your questions. Both of our faves, both of our girls. Yours has done Live Lounge, and
Mhm.
Alessi's done Made of Veil. So technically, did a Live
Mm.
Lounge. She did Lunch by Billie Eilish. It was great.
That was great. I did enjoy that
It
actually.
was a big sleigh.
Mm.
It was all. Do you know what? I had Rachel on. I'm just sidetracking now. I remember like driving around because I was looking at Christmas lights, and I was like, "Oh my god, Rachel Tineriri's on in the car," and then they mentioned Caitlin on the radio, and I was
Oh
like,
my god.
it was when Rachel was doing like had sung like a Christmas song, and she was doing the interview afterwards, and they pronounced your name wrong on the radio, and you had said that you had gone to London, and then Rachel goes, "Is it Caitlin with a K?" And then I think whoever was on the radio, like Joe Wiley or something, was like, "Yeah, it's her." And then Rachel was like, "She didn't just go to one show; she went to the whole tour."
I was like, right, well, that's me. Humbles on the radio. Thank you, Rachel. Like,
Thank you,
I was
Rachel.
like, I'll just say like, oh, I went to Kentish Town because that was the big show.
Hmm.
No, she went to the filter. I thought, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you,
What would we
Rachel.
do without you? Not to be negative,
That's okay.
but like, have you ever had like a time where it's been like because I've always been so scared of like the HQ getting a bit much and feeling like it's a job, whereas for
Mm-hmm.
me it's a hobby. So
Mm-hmm.
like, you ever got to a point where it's like you've thought about kind of stopping it or taking a break or?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely I have because I do this is the thing, I do have like a job. I aside from, like tweaking out on the internet because Alessi Rose dropped a new pic, like I do work a corporate 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And um also we're all quite anxious girlies. We all get very overwhelmed. When Alessi really did like her first big blow up into the industry, a lot of traction came on HQ, and I was very much like, whoa, this is a lot, not doing well. But I think the thing that kind of kept me going with it was I very much confided in Alessi and was like, this is a lot for me at the minute. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. And she was like, take as much time as you need. Don't feel the pressure of it. Like just do what you need to do, because that's the thing. I didn't want it to start becoming a thing where I like resented going on to HQ because I felt like I had to, because I do
Mm-hmm.
love doing it.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'd want to do is have something happen where I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, like I had like a little like journal moment, and I
Mhm.
was writing down like like where I want to take Darren's HQ within the next year and stuff. But I was like, as much as I want to take it places and I'd love for it, to eventually become official and stuff, I was like,
Mhm.
it comes a point where it's like you've got to balance it, and you've got to balance it well, because it's so easy to fall down that slippery slope of
Mhm.
like, this is a full-time job, and it feels like it's like, oh, like I need to post this, I need to do that, or I'm not going to get the interactions, and then no one's going to like it anymore. And
Mhm.
so I think it is a lot.
And I'm
um
like super protective of LSE
oh,
HQ
me too.
as
People's
well. I've had people say to me when I've had like the moments of being super overwhelmed, they go, "Oh, have you ever thought about getting somebody else in? Have you ever thought
Oh
of
my
like
god.
having a double admin situation?"
Yes.
And I mean this with the utmost love and respect. I No,
Just no.
just no, because I'm so protective of HQ, and to me like that is my child. And
Hmm.
that's the culmination of like my love for Alessi over the last like year and a half.
Yeah.
That if if I put it in the hands of somebody else and something went wrong, I fear I would never be able to forgive myself. And I'm not saying that like I give it to somebody else and it goes entirely wrong, but
Yeah.
I get paranoid.
So valid.
So
Oh,
valid.
but like in terms of like letting people in on your little thing that you got going on, I totally get it. Like when I did like fan takeovers, even for like
Mhm.
Rachel's tour, like Loki kind of hated it. Like I hated letting other people in on like my thing, And it's not a case of like it's mine. It's just I've put so much into that, and I'm like, I don't want that to be taken away.
When I did fan takeovers for the first round of tour, I was conscious that I didn't want to just have my friends do fan takeovers, but I
Yeah.
also very much was like, I want to be doing a takeover for a show, and I also did give the takeovers to some fans that I could like trust. I was like very conscious of that. Sometimes like takeovers they do like stress me out at times because I'm
Yeah.
like, I am constantly monitoring
Yeah. Same.
HQ. I'm on it like a hawk
Hmm.
if someone else is doing a takeover, because I'm like, if something gets posted and I'm just like, I don't want that on my account,
Hmm.
I've got speed delete.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, it comes back on you when you let someone
Hmm.
else like go rogue with it. Like, we're doing fan takeovers for Sabrina tour.
Yeah, I've got fan takeovers for this tour.
And obviously, like the amount of people that want to do that, I'm thinking, oh my god,
Oh me.
oh my god.
It's really quite a lot.
Um, but I think maybe for this one, what we're gonna do is maybe get people to send us the stuff to post,
I think that's a smart idea.
because the audience have just informed us that
Greasy
Gracie.
HQ does that.
Yeah, thank you, Ella.
It's like I've got in my notes app like the pre-planned like copy paste message of like anytime I send it to like people doing takeovers. I'm like, please be respectful of the other users. Please do not post anything that violates the community guidelines. Do not do this. Do not do that. But also, again, if something gets said, that's like a reflection on you and who you're letting
Mhm.
onto that account.
Yeah,
So I was very much like, story posts only. You can do Q&As, polls, post videos, whatever. Do not answer any DMs. That was kind of
yeah.
my like thing.
But keeping it professional as well.
I always say that like HQ on Twitter and HQ on Instagram are two entirely separate people.
Yeah.
Like HQ on Instagram, it'll be like my next post will probably be, and sorry to trigger everybody in the room, it'll be like Alessi Rose has just hit 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Like that will be my next post. Then it's like on Twitter, I'll just be tweeting like, "Hey guys, what's up?" I'm like, "Who
Yeah.
wants to chat? I'm bored."
Why would you say anyway that Alessi's got like because her fan base are loyal and they're dedicated like no other?
Oh my god, yeah.
So like, why would you say that that is?
I think it's because of the way that she's been throughout her career. She's been like very authentic. She's been very open with what she writes about and how she's feeling. And she loves to come and chat to us, which I think is a thing that Rachel does as well. I
Mm-hmm.
always see Rachel interacting with fans, and Alessi does the same. Like, she loves coming into like DMs and chatting with us and like interacting on the timeline and going on TikTok lives. TikTok lives, I think, was a massive part of Alessi's fan base being as dedicated as they are to her, because
Mm-hmm.
like that's where she started and she's still carried that through
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah. Like Rachel's like one of the biggest like no social media. Like I feel like if Rachel wasn't an artist, Rachel just wouldn't be on the grid at all. Like
Yeah.
she'd be gone. So I think like the only reason that she does come on is to like keep that relationship up with fans as well. Which I think is really important as well.
She's very I do really like that she's very like all cards on the table, like we should all be nice to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and how she loves to get new fans involved. Like I always see
Yes.
her little tweets of like, we've
She
got group
stresses me
chats.
out.
And then you're in the replies like, I'm adding people, I'm adding them, I promise.
Like I'm crying
I'm
because
trying.
like I started like the big group chat that we've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I started that and it was like I was just like, oh, one night I was like, oh, we need a Rachel group chat because like at this point there wasn't a lot of us. So I was like, oh, who wants to be in like the Rachel group chat? And then Rachel like constantly when like new fans like when Louis' tour came around and stuff like that, she was like, if you want to be in a group chat, like just let Caitlin know. And I was like, oh my god. um, but yeah, I've been scrambling to the point where, and I hate Discord.
I am an avid disliker of
I
Discord.
hate Discord. I can't work it either. I can't do it.
I use Discord for movie nights with my friends, and I'm like, you guys sort it out. I will just like plug my headphones in and be, hey.
Yeah, we've kind of started it, but again, I think like 70% of the people just don't like Discord.
See,
It just doesn't work.
that was the thing, like trying to find a platform that worked and that was good for like all of the Alessi fans was really a struggle, because there was a Discord tried for a while, didn't work. The Instagram group chat had reached capacity, so you had like individual Instagram group chats. There was the whole shambles with the WhatsApp, and then that was kind of where the Twitter community was like, this is a happy medium.
Yeah, I like the Twitter communities. They're great.
They're a lot of fun. We just don't
Um,
like Elon
but
Musk.
well, that's really valid also though.
Hmm. But also, I think with like that was it. I really appreciate that whilst Rachel isn't very pro social media, that she still acknowledges that like that is the easiest way for her to connect with her fan base,
Yeah.
and albeit something that she probably, if she had the choice, wouldn't
Hmm.
use. Like that is her putting fans first, which I really appreciate. And I feel like Alessi does the same, even though Alessi's just chronically online.
Yeah.
So,
She is online
and we
at all
love her for
times.
it.
Yeah. I like as well that like Rachel is like, you know, she doesn't enjoy social media. She obviously comes on just to speak to us, but I enjoy that she's kind of brought like about like the like fans writing letters and like she's
Hmm.
trying to like get us all to write in her journals. Like she's also trying to take us away from social media, but also sharing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she's using the community that she's built through social media to take it like into the real world
You're so good
in a
at
way.
this.
Thank you so much. And like none of us would have met had we not been fangirls on Stan Twitter.
100%.
And had we not had social media, Ak and Dak would not be sat here right now.
No, we wouldn't even be acting dark.
We wouldn't even
What
be
a
Ak and
scary
Dak.
world.
We would just be Caitlin and Jasmine.
Oh my god.
One in Scotland, one in the south. Not we'd
One
literally
in
be
the south.
we'd be like opposite ends of the country. I love scheming, and I love scheming with other HQs as well. It's one of I just oh, it's so good.
That's like the streaming parties as well. You were loving that, weren't you?
I love me a streaming party, but it's like I feel like outside of our artist communities, we've also kind of like got a little community of like HQ
Yeah.
girlies.
Like it's very much like we all offer help to each other. I feel like like you messaged me about the community. It was like,
Can I help?
"Caitlin,
And then
help."
it's like I had like the girls who run Erin's HQ message me being like about the Twitter community, and I was like, let me text Caitlin.
We really all just kind of like pulled together, I think,
And
because
it's even like when I announced the station head parties because I'm doing one with Nell Mescal HQ. There's a girl who I met through Phoebe Bridgers who runs Nell's HQ who messaged me on Instagram. Like she's literally that's like that's oomph. And she messaged me on Instagram, was like, "Is it you who runs Alessi HQ?" I was like, "Yes, it's me." She's like, "Oh my god, I run Nell," and I was like,
this is
this is a
exciting.
really big full circle moment for
Yeah.
us." I hate like we're all just really connected as HQ girlies, and how we all just like doing things like this. I just think is really fun because then you also get to bridge fandoms together,
Yeah.
and that's why I really like the collaborative station heads because it gives like the Alessi fans exposure to other artists, and it gives the other artists exposure to
Yeah.
Alessi.
But like Darling Hitchy has never done Stationhead.
I I'm like the biggest station head fan. I love
I
station head.
love sitting on your station
I love
heads.
station head more than anything. Like every time I go on, I start with Diet Pepsi as an intro because I know that it's like one of Alessi's favorites. I used to always end out with Crush. I now always end out with I Know You Know because it's my new favorite.
I
But
love that song.
I love going on that. I love sitting and chatting. And also it's like for me it's a really easy way to chat with fans on like outside of Twitter because obviously I as much as I am a we are HQs, I do try and limit how much time I spend on Twitter for my own mental health and well-being.
So valid. It's a scary place out
So
there.
like being able to go on Station Head and just sit and chat and like seeing familiar faces. Like I feel like through HQ I've almost made like an entire another group of like friends because I see the same faces all the time on like
Hmm.
station heads and on movie nights and things like that, and they're just really cute.
I feel like that's another thing though. Is like I don't think people actually realize how much that like us as HQs actually like notice the people that are constantly in their replies and like
Oh my god, yeah.
obviously I'm not gonna just randomly message you one day and be like, hey, thank you so much for replying to me. But like it's just like it makes you feel like you're not talking to a brick wall. You know what I
Because
mean?
when I did the like the playing cards and I sent some out to people, I kept a couple behind because I was like I want to send some outside of the UK, and I went and messaged like I think there's maybe 6 accounts maybe
Mm-hmm.
who I knew were like not in the UK and who had been like supporting me for a while, who always chatted with me, and I was like because I had so many people enter to get the playing cards, and I was just like I don't want to. In a way, I wanted to like send them to random people, but at the same time, I wanted to give back to the people who
That supported
have like
you.
supported me for a really long time. So I just messaged them and was like, "Hey, this is like just a little thank you from me. Like, if you're happy for me to send you stuff, like send an address my way. I won't dox you. I promise."
No, but I love that. I love that, like, there is something that we can do once in a while to kind of give back to the people because we do notice. We notice.
That's the thing. Me having a disposable income is like not good because I see things and I'm like, ack. I'm like, I can do this for ack. I don't know when this is. When's this going out?
Possibly Sunday.
Okay, that gives me enough time.
Possibly.
I might do.
Maybe.
I might
Maybe
basically,
Monday.
I when Alessi restocked. Well, when Dork restocked the magazines for the Alessi cover, I literally went and just bought one straight away. I have one at home. I'm just bought one because I was like, I'm gonna do a giveaway.
Like, I used to have, like, an array of just, like, a little collection going on of, like, spare things I had collected from, like, tour. Like, I had little, like, Rachel postcards. Um, I have an array of albums, as you know. The first time,
I got gifted one the first time that I came here. Was I got gifted a Rachel Chinnery CD,
yeah,
signed one too.
signed. Yeah, because we had HMV ones, rough trade.
You
I
were
was
like,
like,
what version do you want?
you let me know, I'll give you it. But like, I'm at the point where I'm like, low-key kind of like running out of CDs to give away.
We need to buy more.
I've not got any postcards left. I'm thinking I'm running out because like recently, so obviously Rachel's doing her War Child
Hmm.
gig,
Yes.
and I was like, maybe in the HQ I was like we need to do something that's like, acknowledging this and like for the people
Oh
that
my god,
can't
yeah.
like make the gig. So I was like, we'll do like a fundraiser, and I was like, but I feel like you need something to engage. Like, why would people want to donate? All like it's an amazing charity and stuff, but like I feel like you just needed that little bit of push to get people to get into it. So I was like, mystery bundle. Did I know when I posted that what said mystery bundle was?
No,
No,
you never do.
but I found out. I know what the mystery bundle is.
Can you tell me what the mystery
I'll
bundle
let
is?
you in. I'll let you. I'll tell you.
Ooh. No, I think also doing it as like a fundraiser was really good
Hmm.
because in that way you're like also getting to give back to charities that also like Rachel obviously really supports,
Yeah,
which I think is really great. But I'm excited to see what happens with the War Child show.
I'm so excited about Hannah Morgan
I
tour, and
love Hannah.
I was manifesting Hannah for like Rachel's November tour opener,
Hmm.
and it was announced, and I was like, oh my god, it's Leonie. I was thinking, but can we just have both? Like, is that possible?
Like brief sidetrack. I came across Leonie on my For You page like literally only a couple of weeks ago
Really?
because it was a video off of her spam account where she was just playing her guitar and I was like, who is this girl?
Hmm.
And then I went and then I listened to like the beach song demo literally over and over again in my head and then I messaged in the group chat because we were theorizing about who was opening for Alessi and Alessi had sent the little like beach island emoji and a guitar. And we were just like, wait, beach song, Leonie. And then I think it was either Fee or Em was like, well, she's gay, by the way. And I was like, this is great. I was like, yes, we love it. And then it turned out it was Chloe Slater, but we love Chloe anyways. I'm super excited for Chloe on tour.
That's gonna slay.
I'm gonna stay so hard.
In terms, because obviously you do like a lot of like streaming parties. You do it all, really, don't you? You got it all going on.
I get the no sleep allegations all the time.
um, but like, what's like your fave thing you've organised through the HQ?
Oh, that's a really good one actually, because I'm trying to think. Um, I can't pick just one. I loved doing the mini mics on tour. Granted, I only did one show, but I loved doing the mini mic interviews on tour. Again, station heads are also my absolute favorites. And one that was a little bit difficult. I did a movie night where I made everybody sit and watch Bottoms, which, if you know me, is one of my favorites. I love Rachel Sennett. I love Ruby Cruz. I love Iowa Debris. I love everything about that film. And it was so funny because there were so many people who hadn't seen it before.
I've never.
And
I
it's
can't
now
lie.
become a running thing of like, Ack loves Rachel Sennett. I loved your little like fan tour interviews. I thought they were really cute.
I really enjoyed doing them. My thing was
The
though,
yeah.
I was a bit scared to go up to other people, like other people in the queue that I didn't know. I was like, I can't just like walk up to random people and be like, hey, do you want to do like imagine going up to someone and be like, hey, do you want to do an interview for like Darlin's HQ? And they're like, oh no, sorry.
No, do you know what it was? I like God bless Fee. Honestly, God bless Phoebe because she had the camera in hand and was walking down the queue of people at the EP party being like, does anyone want to do in mini mic interviews for Alessi HQ? Because I couldn't physically muster up the words to be
Yeah,
like,
no, I couldn't have done that.
hi. So I had Fee just running down the queue being like, who wants to do it? And we literally started to just worked our whole way down the line of like
Yeah.
150
Oh
people.
my god. Like the way we kind of did it for tour, I'd put out like because this is another thing. The letter exchanging worked great because when everyone was coming up for the letter exchanges, I was like, well, you must know Darren's HQ to a degree.
Hi.
I was like, so if I was
If
like,
you
if
want
anyone
to.
wants to do a mini clip interview, I was like, come over here, let me know. But like, there was no chance that you were getting me walking down that queue because I'm just a wee girl with anxiety.
I
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I don't know whether it's just a fangirl thing, but us very openly having our identities associated with our HQs. Do you know what I mean? And that like
Yeah.
who who runs Young Ex-Wives, who runs GAC, who runs Livy's HQ, nobody knows.
Hmm. Well, see, when first fun fact, when I first started like Darlin's HQ, because originally I started off as an update account,
Hi.
And then I was thinking, like, I got into it and I was like, I was doing like okay with it, like it was great. But I was like, I can feel this becoming like really like, because with an update account you have to be on the ball. Like you have to be
Mm-hmm.
spitting out every update there
Oh
is.
my god, yeah.
I don't be having time for that. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not on my phone 24 hours a day.
If you're an update account, you can't be late to
Yeah, no,
being
you
like,
can't, or it just doesn't work because everyone's already updated.
mhm.
So like, change to Darling's HQ, which I love a whole lot more.
I feel like Alessi HQ started as an update situation unintentionally. And then when I kind of realized that there were a lot of other accounts doing the same thing,
Mm,
that was where I like had a shift in my, I want to do something different with this. But I think my like first lot of videos with my face on was me doing the like, it was when the video of Alessi covering ribs like really, really blew up on TikTok, and it got like 400,000 likes or something ridiculous like that on it.
mhm.
And I was like, have you been seeing this girl cover ribs on her tour? Have you been hearing about an EP called Rumination as Ritual? Like, what's going on with it? And then I basically just gave the full rundown, and management really loved it.
Yeah,
They were like, we really like this. We want more of
yeah.
this.
You never know
And
who
then I'm
is
in the corner,
watching.
like, yeah,
Like you genuinely never know who's watching. Like they're observing.
they are very much observing.
They're watching.
They're watching. They're always watching.
But yeah, like for Darling's HQ when I first started that, I was like, no one's gonna notice me. Like I'm just gonna do it.
I was really adamant.
And for so long, people didn't know who it was, and I feel like no one really knew who it was, like except for my friends, of course, up until tour. But like, I feel like Rachel had like an incline as to who it was because Rachel didn't even know at this point. And tour came around, and Rachel's like, "Oh my god, like I'm loving like all the Darlings HQ content," and she was like, "Who is it that runs it?" And we all just went, "Oh."
Oh.
And then like Rachel just kind of like looked, and she was like, "Got a feeling who it is," like plugging her eyes into my soul. Um, and then I think it was Emily. I think you were just like, "Guess, like who do you think it is?" Like it's so obvious. She was like, "It's one of you two."
It's
Yeah.
money.
So she was like, "Well, it's one of you two," to me and Emily, like narrowing it down. And Emily's like, "Just take a guess, because you're thinking of someone here." Rachel just goes, "It's you, isn't it?" And I was like, "No,
No.
no,
No.
no, it's not me." But then like slowly but surely, everyone's gonna click on when I'm doing mini clip interviews, and it's constantly my face.
Yeah. It's always my face, and it's only my face.
I'm sorry about that, girls.
No, because I think it's like originally I was the same. I was really adamant that I was like, this is not going to be a thing where people know who I am. I don't want that because then I feel like that puts such a pressure on you.
Mhm.
I think that's also indirectly why I deactivated my main accounts, or I just logged out of my main accounts because I was like, it just something I don't really mind that people know that it's me and that I've got my face to it. I think Alessi knew from the off, and it's also become a running bit. Like Alessi HQ has very much become a running bit with Alessi that she just like bows every time that she sees me. And
I love that
there's
though.
a video. It's in the like Road to Rumination vlogs where she did the release party hangout thing, and there is a video of me with my sunglasses on surrounded by people. Alessi's like getting people to bow on the floor, and I'm jokingly I'm being like, no pictures, no pictures, and she's literally being like, Alessi HQ, we love you, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, but
That is brilliant. I love that.
I kind of find it really funny how they get in on the whole thing.
Yeah, I just love like I love seeing artists like appreciate those fan accounts and stuff, because like I don't even think the artists themselves realize just how much it actually helps. Like, because I feel like if it wasn't for Rachel, I feel like just, well, obviously, if it wasn't for Rachel, Dance HQ wouldn't be a thing. We all
Aye.
know that. But like, I feel like it wouldn't be where it is now
Mhm.
without them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need that engagement with
Oh
them
yeah,
to get you somewhere.
yeah. Because it's like I said earlier. I feel like I was very much like right place, right time with Alessi HQ, and that Alessi was really supportive of it because you see so many other fan accounts
Hmm.
who have that same pipeline, if you will. They have that same like layout of what you do, and they put in just as much effort as you do, but they don't necessarily get the acknowledgement because maybe they've just not come at the right time, so to
Yeah.
speak, in their career. So I definitely feel like Alessi was a massive part of Alessi HQ being what it is.
Yeah, but see, like, I feel like I was a bit late with Darling's HQ in terms of, like,
When did you start it?
great question. I started with the updates account in February 2024. So
Wow.
we're about to turn a year. So it's not
That
even been a year, which is kind of crazy.
kind of silly boots.
Yeah, so obviously, like, I missed, like, the Louis tour,
Oh
which was, like, a
yeah.
huge turning point for Rachel's career. I missed, like, Never Need Me. Huge turning point.
Point for Rachel's career.
I feel like I had to be there at that point, and I wasn't. But, like, obviously, we've got, like, Sabrina tour coming up. I feel like another turning point is around the corner. I feel like she might blow up again.
Brit Awards winner. She better fucking win it. That's all I'm
She
saying.
will.
She will,
I've
absolutely she
hacked
would.
the systems, it's true.
We've all hacked the systems. Rachel's gonna win.
No, I feel like she has like best new artist in the bag for the Brits.
Oh my
Come on
god,
now.
yeah. I feel like I'd be really shocked if she didn't.
Because to be nominated for best new artist and best artist,
You
well,
gotta win one of them.
surely you've got to win at least best new artist. That you've been like nominated for best artist as well.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel like Alessi is again also like having her next turning point because she's got tour coming up, and then Alessi is basically in every single country in fucking Europe
Yeah.
for festival season.
Good luck.
I'm scared. Like, I messaged her and I was like, "You are jet setting around the country, like around the world for festival season." And she was like, "Oh, this is the least of your worries." I'm like,
Yeah.
that girl stresses me out beyond belief. I love her dearly. I love her so much. She stresses me out beyond belief because I don't know things anymore.
But like last year Rachel did like a few like European festivals and stuff. And obviously like when they take a wee journey elsewhere, there's not as many people that you would know usually as like if it was in the UK. You have people always that are there that could send you some videos over, but when they go to the like when they go to the Europe, I was gonna say
The Europe.
when they go to this, but like when they go to Europe, it's like it's so much harder to get that content and get it in like a sufficient time and get it up.
Oh, with Alessi played, I think it's ESNS, which is a festival in Amsterdam, and me and Maya were both having to like we were searching up Alessi Rose on Twitter, we were going on the festival's Instagram page, we were going on the tagged like stories post for the venue. I was literally like hunting them down, screenshotting them and sending them to Maya being like, "Here, like here's your
That
stuff,
is
post your content."
literally what I was in like when Rachel did some shows in the US. So I thought like this is the only way that I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm checking like the tagged posts, but it's so hard when they're in a completely different time zone like America. And I'm thinking it's like 6 a.m. now, and I've still not got content to post. And like so, I'd put on my story like, anyone going to the LA show tonight? Because I can have a stock of your story later. Like, but anyways, I posted on Twitter and you posted on Twitter too,
I
just so you know.
also went onto Instagram. I'll see if I've had anything.
And asked.
We asked for questions.
We asked for some questions.
I've got one that came up that just says, "Can you both have a swim race?"
Right, Jazz, we're off to the pool.
It's Q&A time.
So someone asked, what's Darling's HQ favourite Alessi song, and what's Alessi HQ's favourite Rachel song?
I love things like this. I would say one of my favorite Rachel songs was Garden of Eden. That was always one I really loved. And Never Need Me again. She's
so true.
Also because you play so much Rachel around here, I keep like finding myself doing the dance to All I Ask. All I ever asked of you. Louder.
Did you know that little dance came from us dancing at like 2 a.m. the night before her Coco show? That is where that has come from.
And then they got you on stage.
I feel like my favourite Alessi song right now would be I Know You Know.
It's my favourite at the minute. I know you
Love
know.
it. Also really love Crush. Really enjoy Oh My as well.
Oh My is popular for a reason. I love Crush because Crush also got a dance too. Like we were
I've been learning this dance because I was with you guys at Neighborhood Festival,
yeah.
and I was saying to Emily before, I was like, I need to know, like,
I need to know what to do.
what's this?
Twist the knife.
I got that part down real quick. I'm excited to see because I've never actually seen Alessi at one of her shows.
Are you doing tour?
Well,
Well,
I was meant to be doing Amsterdam.
but none of us are going to
None of us are
Amsterdam
now going
anymore.
to Amsterdam. Then I was meant to be doing Paris.
None of us are doing Paris anymore.
I really want to do Coco for Alessi, but she sold it out. I'll be at Coco. Trust. I'll be there.
I think I'm gonna cry at Coco. I'll be so real.
So valid.
Yeah.
I almost cried when Rachel did Kentish Town just there in November. What song was it? Cold Call. She starts like, and it's like a really like intense intro. Dun 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 dun, and I was like,
I've never been able to get through a Ribs cover dry-eyed. I've cried every single time she's performed Ribs.
it's because everyone's clutching their friends and like
That was
like,
real like core memory shit for me was London Night 1 Ribs.
mm.
Because none of us were filming. We were all just like hugging each other and swaying and crying and sobbing. And Jess took a photo of us and it's on Alessi's Instagram where I am literally just looking up at the stage, tears streaming down my face. And I'm like, this is my moment. I've got if Rachel covered an Alessi song and if Alessi covered a Rachel song, which song would you want it to be?
Oh my god. This is quite tough because they're very like different, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like Rachel could really slay Lucy.
Yeah.
I feel like I would go with that one.
I feel like Alessi would do It Is What It Is.
Oh, wow. Can you get on that? Can you like do your admin stuff?
I'll call Taylor up. Because I think that was one of the first Rachel songs that I heard.
Really?
I think I heard it on the radio.
How did you like discover Rachel?
Do you know what? I think I indirectly discovered Rachel when So My Darling was big on TikTok because I remember hearing that song all the time.
Yeah.
Then I think I just kind of like it wasn't like she died out, but
the
like
wind blew her back.
the wind blew the wind very much blew her back. And I think it was I genuinely think it was It Is What It Is played on the radio and I was like,
oh.
Wait, I remember this name, or like I remember this rings a bell.
Yeah.
And then I think I saw the Never Need Me video, and obviously Fowl to my right loves Florence Pugh and Rachel Chinariri, and I knew M because of Alessi.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you know, like the dots are connecting.
Yeah.
I feel like you definitely saw Alessi because of these two.
100%.
Yeah, always.
Absolutely. I feel like because Emily specifically was like constantly going on about her, and I was thinking, who is this girl?
Who is this?
Who is she?
And you were just asking, you were like, where did she come from? Literally,
Yeah,
she came from the Midlands with a dream. She came from Derby with a dream.
And then we were like me and Emily were in London. I can't remember what we were in London for. Alessi was on the radio, and Alessi was like, "If you're in London, like come on down." That's where I first met you as well.
That is where we first met for the first time.
Yeah.
Yes, because there was so many of us.
My like first memories like with Alessi was outside that radio thing, and Emily went to like introduce me to Alessi, and Emily was like, "Oh, this is," and she was like, "Hey, I know Caitlin," and Alessi like quite literally just grabbed me from Emily, and she was like, "She's my best friend now," and it was just really funny because all I really knew of Alessi at this point was like she often got called what's it girl? That's what I referred to her as with the iPad. Sorry, Alessi. But yeah, I've heard about the iPad.
Don't believe it when she says that screen is not crusty. We have seen that screen and it is filthy.
In the flesh. That's so funny that you're like, the only thing I knew of Alessi was like the dirty iPad law.
It was funny
me
though.
on the other hand being like, oh, you know, Rachel with like you go into the Darlings HQ community, it's like, what's your star sign, and like the letters and the journaling, and then you're like, what's your iPad? Crusty iPad.
I think that just kind of sums up Alessi's lore to a T, though.
Alessi's lore runs so deep, it's like ridiculous.
She's constantly on my timeline talking about poop and pee and
Yep, she's never letting them media train her. She said it.
That's excellent.
She's never getting media trained.
I love that. We've yapped, guys.
We have. We've got an hour. You said don't yap for an hour and a half. It's been an hour and 23 minutes.
We've yapped for an
hour and a half.
I think that's a place to call it and cut. But yeah, actually, we should probably say as well that we've got the streaming party coming up.
We do. Ak and Dak are going to be doing an Alessi Rose and a Rachel Chinariri streaming party on the 19th of Feb for my He Gives Me Station Headuary. Woo!
Well done.
So feel free to come on and say hey. It's going to be fun. I love Station Heads.
Yeah.
And I love Dak. So.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, that's so cute. What more could you possibly need?
Me. They love me.
We're just together, the dream team, really.
Aye.
So you should come, be there or be square.
So you should be around. Do you know that's what that means? It makes me laugh. Aye.
Aye. So that's it pretty much for this episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I've loved this. This has been great.
And again, if you've got any requests of people you'd like me to have a little chat with, if you'd like Ack back, let me know.
I'll happily come back. Wait, yes, that's my thing. I'd like Fal back on the podcast.
She's definitely not sat at the side of the screen right now being like, say me.
Do you know what I think would be really cool would to be honest? This is. Do you know what? I'm going to do my call out. I think it'd be really good, like really cool to have one of Rachel's band members
AC.
Get AC on.
AC
I think AC
Honestly,
would be really good.
Get AC on the pod. That would be so funny. Like, I feel like that would just be a comedy show at this point.
And we'd love to see it. And that's what I'm saying. AC, get on the pod. You don't know me, I don't know you. AC, get on the pod. It'd be so good.
That would be excellent, actually. Yeah, so that's it for today. And yeah, episode 3 is coming. And
stream Alessi Rose, stream Rachel Chinariri.
Stream
is the Brits a fan voting thing?
Like Rachel's one?
Yeah.
No.
No? Anyways.
Rachel Chinariri is going to win a Brit, though.
She is. We're putting it out into the universe now.
And
Alessi Rose is going to be nominated next year.
Yeah, she is. Best New Artist.
Aye.
That could be so fun.
That would be really crazy.
Rachel wins it
Can
this
you
year.
Can you imagine this time next year we sit down, like Ack and Dak, we make this an annual thing?
Like the Billie Eilish thing.
Oh my god.
That'd be excellent. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
And yeah, see you in episode 3.
Bye.
Bye.